And we are back. Another episode of Bonding with Boogie and the Precious Perspective. And it is your host, Boogie Ogun. Him with thee, him for knee, him the G, him who doesn't hide, him who seeks, him with the shortest arms, him still with the longest reach, and my boy, of course.
Precious with a precious perspective, and per usual, it's always a pleasure to be up here with you, brother. Talk that talk, do what we do, get into the latest and the greatest, and just celebrate another day. You know what I'm saying? How you feeling?
I'm well, man. Just had another baby and shit.
Okay.
Taking care of these kids. It's a blessing for real.
For sure.
Bringing new life into the world. I mean, into the world. Just watching him grow day by day. Like I said, it was a lot of a lot of concern and a lot of a little fright from time to time, and but just coming all into it, everything is fell into place, and God is working exactly how he's
supposed to,
how he works for me.
It's crazy. I think random. I went to see Michael yesterday, and I think the theme that I kind of got from the movie overall, and something that I personally appreciated, was the presence of mind of Michael Jackson, or at least how they painted it in the film, understanding that you can only control what you can control. Yesterday already happened. We're not even sure if the future is going to happen. So live in the moments that you're able to bring in life, uplift life, celebrate and do. So as long as the Most High got us here to operate in that space, all we can do is be grateful, for real.
For sure. Moving along, I'm going to get straight into it.
For sure.
I don't know, for anybody who listens to the show, I don't know if I've ever mentioned it. I am from Chicago, Illinois, but as far as NBA basketball fan, I am a very humongous Dallas Maverick fan. I've been a Maverick fan probably since the 5th or 6th grade. Yeah. I'm 34 now, so it's been a long time. And in recent news, one of my Maverick players, Klay Thompson, he's been dating Meg Thee Stallion for a while, right. And they just recently, I guess separated ways, and it was a big, thing on the internet. Yeah. Just a big thing about how the situation, I guess, was handled, which nobody knows how the situation was handled, because
I wasn't there.
We're not dating either of them. But, to the outside looking in, first and foremost, me being a Dallas Maverick fan, I wasn't too fond of hearing that he was dating her. You know what I'm saying? Not for really anything, but for exactly what's happening now. Yeah. Because a basketball star dating a rap, star, or a rap artist is bound to be in the it takes the
it shifts the focus.
Yeah, I care about NBA. Yeah. I don't really care about his dating life. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of takes, when you got a public relationship like that, it kind of takes away from the game. And, not to say that it will, because some people play, but with the relationship of the caliber and with the person, because it was random for Klay Thompson to be with Meg Thee Stallion. It was a very random relationship. So like I said, when I first heard about it, I wasn't too fond of it because of, the surrounding everything with her, from her past situations. And like I said, just from him coming from the Warriors, already kind of being on a decline
of his career.
Him coming to the Mavs, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe this is good for him. But then you find out he dated Meg Thee Stallion. It's like, bro, for me to be a Dallas Maverick fan, I was kind of more like into it, like, nah, this is not.
I think, like you said, being more concerned about the game and his brand versus personal life. And so now we live in a era where you don't get to know the brand without the person. Lifestyle branding has really become a thing. And so I can see where your apprehension lies. And I'm going to go first. I'm going to just say, Udai and Real had a slight wager, and it was a gentleman's bet, nothing too as far as how long they would last. And they did outlast what each of us predicted. But I think that, to your point of Klay Thompson's career already being kind of on that downward, I don't want to call it a downward spiral.
It's declining though.
Yeah,
I watch basketball. Yeah. He was with the Warriors. They got rid of him.
Yeah, for a reason.
You know what I'm saying? They didn't if he was still of value to them, they would have kept him. He came to the Mavs before even dating her. He had some games but he wasn't Klay Thompson.
Yeah, it was.
So he already. Then when you hear that, it's like, bro, my team is rebuilding.
Where's your head?
Yeah, we don't need that. And it's like when niggas start dating Kardashians. You don't. That's not the type of shit you want in your locker room.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's too much publicity. It's too much around that. It's too much. So when you hear then, it was like Klay Thompson and Meg Thee Stallion. Like, it don't even make sense. And it's only don't make sense because you look at Klay and you assume things about him. As far as, you just don't assume Meg Thee Stallion is Klay Thompson's speed. You know what I'm saying?
Or vice versa, for that matter, because you also look at the interactions or the guys that Meg Thee Stallion has been claimed to have dated and dealt with in the past, and you kind of don't see Klay in that list. But I had somebody say, like, in regard to that topic, it's like, and again, I don't know any of these men, so I can't speak on them, but it's like, though they don't seem the same, the kind of goofiness of these guys kind of resonate. Because I look at one of the videos, like, because that was the thing. It's like you said, I started seeing and hearing Klay's name more on social media, off the court type stuff. Well, I don't want to see Klay Thompson and what he's wearing, because
get dressed.
Get ready with Klay. No, you're not somebody who I'm following for outfit tips. Like, you can keep that. But I think that we are, like I said, in a space where, as I've said in the past, I believe content is king. It's a new form of currency. And so when you have a polarizing figure like Meg Thee Stallion, strong, black, independent woman, sexy, all these different type of things, just this empowered woman, and you attach her to the likes of a Klay Thompson, who, like you said, seem to be on a decline, and where they're most notable at and from, it's like, okay, let's see if she could put the battery on his back to revive him. But to somebody like you, who was already looking a bit skeptical, like, nah, you kind of already got too much stuff going on, my man. Like, if he would have retired and started dating Meg, cool.
No problem.
That's your thing.
No problem.
But the fact that you still wanting to hoop and still wanting to be a piece to a team, and you are Hall of Famer, like, no doubt, easy, going down in the Hall of Fame, great basketball player, but understanding that this wasn't, I think, for his brand at least, it wasn't a beneficial move. I feel like for her, this might work.
And again, I don't want to call what could have been true love. I don't want to brand that. I don't want to, even though, with these celebrities, it comes that, but I don't want to, if it was true love or was of becoming true love, or they were building towards that, I don't
want to negate it.
Yeah, and when we talk about, even when we talk about ourselves, it should be a form of brand, your image, or what you look like, or how you decide, or how you choose to do things, determined based on your image. Or,
how you want to be perceived.
I just want to get into the grown adult conversation of this. So when we talked about this in the beginning, and we gave our timeline of how long this will last, why do we do that? And when I mean why do we do that, meaning if I meet you, well, you my brother, but if you bring your girlfriend along, and I have a conversation with one of these people and I say, how long we think this is gonna last? Obviously, we see something or we know something
It
that
just don't fit.
or I might know something about you, I know he ain't gonna keep her longer. So why did we even give it a timeline? Why didn't we? I don't want to say have hope because I don't be having hope for other people's relationships if it ain't, it ain't got nothing to do with
it's not
it.
conducive.
But why a timeline instead of it was gonna work and make it all the way through and
Motherfuckers got sense, I guess. But I hate to say it that plain and dry. I think that again, not knowing these people, not really caring to discuss their business, like you say.
I'm caring at the moment. It's what we're doing right now.
But what I'm saying is understanding that you immediately saw the two different worlds. Meg Thee Stallion is again outspoken, and this is her celebrity, right? Because I think that a lot of times we discredit the fact that these celebrities have curated roles to play in the industry. So again, we listen to the music, the WAP, the hot girl this, all this different type of stuff, and you automatically get a certain idea as to who you think she is when that may not be, in fact, who she actually is.
So with that being said, with the role play, with the having people look at you a certain way. Mm-hmm. I guess, the breakup happens, and, it makes the internet. And she was upset because I guess, it was, she was, thought it was
cheated on.
She was cheated on,
yeah,
right.
That's what, I don't know.
Being the individual that, we just said, giving the image that you, perfect example. Would we say that drill music plays a major key on the streets?
Violence.
With the way the kids are? Okay, cool. So we agree to that. So, given the image, your music, promoting sex, but not even just sex with your partner, but sex with multiple men, get a nigga money, blase blah, this, that, and the third and the fourth. You know what they talk. And like to say, not to say because you make this music that you don't deserve someone to love you or deserve a significant other. But given the fact that this is the role you play, this is what you've given us. This is the real hot girl. Can you blame a man for not wanting to be with you? Will Meg Thee Stallion ever find a man that will marry her off of the image that's given?
So I think that it's really about in that example, it's really about the commitment, right? So I think that the cheating is the issue. It's one thing if, if he would have came to the understanding that, we done did this shit for however long we done did this shit. This don't make sense. This don't work. This not us.
To be honest, I think Klay Thompson knew what he was on from the jump.
For sure, probably.
He got into it, and he realized this ain't for me. So, and like you said, the cheating, regardless if
that's the issue.
Yeah.
I feel like ultimately, I personally believe I'm not gonna sit and there's somebody for everybody. But I do believe that if through, I'm gonna say practice, if through work, and if through decision, you choose a person, that person could be a hoe, that person could be gangster, but because they're put in the face of somebody who's actively choosing them, then it's gonna be good. So in the case that there's a man somewhere in the world who I can read through the hot girl shit. I understand that this is propaganda for the industry, and so I can see straight through to who you are as a woman, and that's who I want. Same thing like the example you giving with the drill rappers. Motherfucker can look at them and say like, I know that you be rapping about the streets and shoot them up, bang, bang, da-da-da-da-da, but I'm going to steal because I see the person in you and not the image that was created for you. I'm going to still give you the opportunity to be something outside of just this drill rapper. I'm going to give you real estate opportunities or game, merchandising, whatever opportunities to expand your brand ultimately, because I understand that though this is a perceived image that obviously sells, like at the end of the day, I ain't gonna knock her for going to work, but to your credit and to your point, I believe the average man isn't going to look at a situation like a Meg Thee Stallion and be eager to make her the wife. Now, will I fool around? Will I do? Yeah, she's attractive, aesthetically pleasing, all of that different type of stuff. But, and this is just...
I guess she done had several boyfriends.
Yeah.
I guess it's just crazy to me that, but that's niggas though. We niggas. Niggas is still, because me, personally, I don't know her personally. I've never dated her. But I could see me not wanting to be with her. You know what I'm saying? Like just like you say, fooling around, messing around. So it's crazy to me that niggas is still gaslighting and like acting like they want to be with a chick just to get what they want to get. You know what I'm saying? And Klay really just gave us a real relationship. They bought Bentleys and watches. You know, that's rich people shit though. Yeah. You know, you could that you could do that when you got paper, but y'all gave us this. It looked like a relationship. And if Klay, like you said, the cheating Klay, if you wasn't feeling her, y'all ain't had to, you could have, like, you Klay, you a multi-million-dollar man, legend, champion, everything that you named earlier. And, you know, Meg Thee Stallion is Meg Thee Stallion. And, bro, you could have, I'm pretty sure you could have did what you wanted to do without the attachment, without the tabloid, without being on my Maverick team doing it while you was doing it, without, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure you could have had your way. But and maybe not.
Yeah.
I don't, because like I say, I don't know her.
Yeah.
So, but another thing, I think this is why niggas are so mad. I saw somebody else say this. No matter how many people a woman is dated, they always pick one nigga to always attach a woman to. So I think in this case, Klay seemed like finally the right guy. He looked as if. He seemed as if.
Good on paper.
Other people picked him for her. Yeah. Meaning like she done been through niggas. No disrespect. From the tabloids, from what we hear, from like I say, we follow hip hop and we listen. We don't know if they spread rumors or not, but if multiple people call you a thief, I'm going to believe you a thief. Yeah. We just going to leave it at that. We don't know her personally. But she's been with multiple men. We've never looked at her relationships like we kind of put her in the view with Klay Thompson, because I think people saw Klay Thompson and the fact that she seemed so happy and the fact that we don't know too much about Klay Thompson as far as the dating world, as far as
him.
And he looks like a
upstanding guy.
He looked like the type of nigga that would have married Meg Thee Stallion. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He looked like it. So people, I feel like people and females females. One thing I know about females stick together, bro. Even with knowing, cause they looking at it like Klay Thompson bogus. He was cheating. But also I just want them to be accountable and look too at her resume. And did y'all really think that he was gonna do that? You know what I'm saying? Did you really? Let's be 100. If you gonna look at it, if y'all want to be on our side, be on our side. Cool. He bogus. He cheated. He didn't have to play her like that. Whatever. But just hearing what you hear, just peeping what you peep, just listening to what you listen to, did you honestly think? And like I said, y'all bogus because y'all picked Klay Thompson, because Klay Thompson seemed like, okay, Meg done been through these niggas. But Klay Thompson, NBA star, light skin, good hair, he looked like the nigga that's gonna settle down with Meg. They picked the goofy niggas for you. If you a hoe, and you done been with multiple men, they gonna pick the goofiest nigga to attach to you like he was he wifed her. And it's like, no, bro, I didn't wife. I did the same thing everybody else did. I was just,
I'm just a good guy.
Y'all picked me because I seemed like
I fit the profile.
I fit the profile. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if Klay Thompson got kids. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Out there like we don't like, you know what I'm saying? So it seemed as if Klay was the guy. So people was, like I say, and he seemed like he made her happy. It seemed like genuine happiness from the jump. And like I say, he fit the description. I'm assuming it looked like he fit the description of the type of nigga that, okay, I done did all of what I done did, and now I'm done doing what I'm doing. And Klay Thompson is the man that is going to take me away from the hot girl summers and hot girl. And no, that nigga, and like I say, he didn't have to play the role, but he played the role to get what he wanted, because obviously it didn't work out. Right. And I'm pretty sure you knew if you liked her for real in the first few, you know if you like a motherfucker for real in the first few months. You only, first few days, you really know if you actually feeling somebody for real. So he knew. And like I said, when you got money, you could do shit. Him buying a Bentley for her, man, that's nothing. You know what I'm saying? He done made multi Bentleys in his life. He could buy 3-4 Bentleys for it just be a gift. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, so with me being an accountable man, Klay Thompson, if he did play the role to get the goods or to even boost himself as far as now he's in the dating limelight. Now there are other celebrity women looking to, he bogus. Yeah. But if I'm gonna be accountable for everybody, maybe A Stallion, like I said, I don't know what you do with your body personally, because I ain't never did nothing with you personally, but from the looks of it, and like I say, this does not mean that you do not deserve, because I know my body. And I feel like I deserve a woman that's gonna love me, that's gonna take me. I know my body. So I'm not saying that you don't deserve, but we just need to be accountable, and we just need to think, and we just need to really, really, really evaluate ourselves and understand why things may not work for you.
Yeah.
You feel me?
And I'm not mad at that at all. I think that going into like what you said, there is a possibility that Klay could have attached himself, like, because up until this point, Klay been in the league damn near
a long time,
10 plus seasons at least. You feel me? And for him to still be an enigma up until this point is pretty impressive. And so I think that to his play, it's understanding that I can benefit from this ultimately, because though I'm an NBA player, I'm no celebrity. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
No people.
At least to myself, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't feel like a rock star.
Yeah,
people might look at me like that,
and yeah, and so this may have been something that, maybe in the beginning, and when it was good, it was. I'm a firm believer. When it's good, it's good. And when it's not, it ain't. Like, and you can't really. Sometimes you can't necessarily even gauge those situations, because again, I know for me, I won't say it's mood swings, but I wake up certain days and I could just be left alone. Like I'd be feeling like, nigga, you could live on one of them silent cartoons from back in the day. Like, don't nobody got to say shit. Don't nobody got to do nothing. We just exist in the world. And so I think in the space of trying to develop relationships, you have to put aside the fact that, oh yeah, this is her reputation, or oh yeah, this is his reputation. I'm actively choosing this person because that's what you want to do. Nobody's asking you to, nobody's making you. And so even with what you said, with I guess knowing that, this is maybe something that you wasn't into, maybe you was just moving how you was moving to get the goods, so to speak, is who do you blame in that situation? That's a decision that two grown adults made. You feel me? Because again, I think ultimately, just like any and every person, and we've talked a lot about all of this, and I'm gonna take us back a little bit to simply say, I personally, and this is the, I guess I won't say conspiracy theorist in me, I believe all that should be fake. I believe all that should be scripted. I believe they don't put anything out in the media that they don't intend for us to receive a certain way. And so because Meg is this hot girl and and Klay seems to be this cool gent, like, let's put them together in order to enhance each brand. Because ultimately, Meg Thee Stallion can rap. I fuck with her on the rap tip. You feel me? I think that though, while this has been going on, just like you said, you ain't really heard, or not even you heard, just like you've seen Klay ain't been making the strides on the basketball court. I ain't heard no new Meg Thee Stallion drop, or I ain't heard no new music. I've just been seeing the love and this is gonna give her content now. This is gonna give her
new CD.
This is another way to promo life, you know. And again, there's no disregard to the fact that this could have been and possibly is a very serious thing. They were in love, all that. I wasn't there. I don't know. But I think that beyond it, it is understanding that I personally believe everybody deserved a shot at love. Everybody deserves to find their person and or people. Nigga who ain't shit, like whoever you are, I believe that there is somebody in this world that it's willing to accept your person.
For sure.
And so if you find them, awesome. If not, there's always God. Like that's my biggest thing. For like sure. Love and live in God.
For sure. And moving along, you said you went to see the Mike movie.
Yeah.
How was it?
I think overall the actor, his nephew, he did a phenomenal. It was scary, G. Like,
you said it was damn
mannerism, bro. It was, if you squint a little bit, and you know I got bad eyes anyway. That nigga looked like Mike. What you talking about? He was dancing and all the body gyrations and shit.
Let's just talk about, bro, the generational decade. Let's just talk about impact. How long Michael Jackson has been. Like I said, I saw a list that say right after Jesus Christ, Michael Jackson is the second most famous person to ever step foot on the planet Earth.
I was looking at that the concert renditions in the movie. I'm not saying that I'm surprised or
they
like
say after Jesus Christ himself,
fainting.
Mike Jackson is the most famous person to, and it's crazy to see the children that weren't even born. They shouldn't even know who Michael Jackson is. And out of all the older folks that was out, the back then, the Princes, the Luthers, they don't know about all them. They know about Michael Jackson, bro. And you may not even be teaching your kids about who the fuck Michael Jackson is. But they come home and they know who Michael Jackson is, bro. And it's just crazy to see like the longevity, even how we got Michael Jackson.
Oh, me.
How we knew Thriller, how we knew Dirty Diana, how in grammar school, Mike gave us new Michael Jackson.
Oh, me.
He gave us Invincible. He gave us You Rock My World. So at this point, Mike been out 30, 40 years, and he still hit us with something that we could call our classics. Even though we knew the Dirty Dianas and the Thrillers and all of that, but he gave us our own CD. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it's just crazy how, like I say, Mike has been ongoing, like the most famous after death, after like Mike, it's all-time greatest of all time. Like
first and foremost, it's aura. Like, it's real life stepping into, and one thing that fuck around, catch some flack for this, but I'm gonna go for it. One thing that I appreciated in the movie was, and I found out some stuff today that was disturbing, disgusting, all that different type of stuff. But we don't get Michael Jackson without Joe. I don't care what anybody says. Like, you don't get this global superstar without Joe Jackson. And abusive, crazy, whatever as he was, I think that on the very sane side of the spectrum, here you have a black man who has a vision for his family. Mm-hmm. And I think that we've grown in a society where, because the black man has been kind of put, depending, obviously, we grew up with our father and all that different type of stuff, but because the black man has been typically pushed out of the household, we'll say, starting around 70s, 80s, all that different type of stuff, we kind of get thrown off when we see a man leading the household through structure, through discipline, through just that idea of having, again, a vision for you, because innately a mother is going to nurture her child and build them up from that aspect of love. And that's not to say that your father isn't going to love you, but he's going to love you, but he's going to push you to, I feel like, love yourself in a way.
I was just on the phone with my homie today, literally, and we were talking about, I got multiple children. Yeah. So me and my lady, this is her first child. So we kind of, I don't want to say parent differently, but I handle things differently with a newborn baby versus how she handles it. And I was talking to my homie about it. And he was like, they say guys make better parents. I say, damn, for real? He said, yeah, bro. He said, women, they love, they nurture, they care. That's what they know. That's what they gonna do. That's what they gonna, and that's gonna take them away from the bigger picture sometime. And he said, with guys, it's more discipline, it's more structure, it's more tough love. And he say, if you're an active father, he say 9 times out of 10, real active fathers, they kids like they daddies more than they like their moms. And like I say, I didn't want to go into it, but being in the same household, we had kind of that situation. And I don't want to say we had a favorite parent, but when it was in the said and done in the end, we chose who we chose. And we're going to leave it at that. And it was for different reasons. Yeah. But it's just crazy, like you said. And we you talk about Michael Jackson, we talk about the Ball brothers and their father. And it's crazy how a black man who was talking about how great his kids was going to be, how people, the media tried to make it seem like he was doing too much, or he was crazy, or he was going to be the downfall, or why they wouldn't be as big as they should be. And ultimately, being a black man and being a father and looking at what he was doing, I can't say that. Because he talked greatness, and all of them ended up being great to each his own in every aspect of whatever they doing. They, ain't none of them Jordan, but he ain't say none of them would be Jordan. He just said he gave us the outlay for each one of them. Who the best player, who he knew everything. He knew his kids. He trained his kids. He was an active father for his kids, an everyday person with his kids. And like I said, like I say about the Joe Jackson thing, we more so got the beatings. And they told us Joe was beaten, the abuse, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know what Joe Jackson was actually doing.
In the household.
You know what I'm saying? It was a gang of boys. Somebody had to get their ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? It was 2 of us, and I got my ass whooped often because I was doing shit. So if I was doing shit as one boy, it was multiple young men. You know what I'm saying? So he probably just wasn't whooping ass all the time for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Now that I'm grown and understand, sometimes you got to whoop ass. Yeah. So like I said, we that is one thing about the story that we, now that I'm grown and now that you just mentioned it, because that's all we kind of know Joe Jackson for is ass kicking.
To be beaten and all this kicking ass. Stuff. And I think that
They say he a real nigga though.
Yeah, even in going back, like I say, I heard some stuff today that kind of disturbed me a little bit.
Okay,
that
well,
I don't
cool,
really.
yeah.
I'm not gonna advocate for him, but I am gonna.
We'll
say,
talk about that off camera.
Yeah, I am gonna say that I believe that the strength in his presence is what excelled his. Because again, all of his kids that we knew of, and I ain't gonna say because I think it was like 2 or 3 other sisters that didn't really,
they ain't had to do nothing.
And that's what I was about to say.
Everybody else made it.
Because ultimately, you're building a foundation. And so to go back to like what you said with your homie, me or father's better parent, I think that it's, and this is a touchy subject today because of where we exist in society with the LGBT and all this different type of stuff, but gender roles are a thing and they are essential. I'm not saying that they have to remain solely and exclusively to a said person, because as a man, we both possess masculine and feminine energy. The masculine energy is more prevalent because you're a man, so the testosterone is, there and, more, but there's feminine energy there. Same thing with a woman. There's masculine as well as feminine energy. And so I believe that when you have the ability to balance the two, then you get I would say a whole person in raising children, or, even teaching children, because now they get to experience that spectrum of love even that's coming from a nurturing side of, oh, let me kiss the ouchie or the boo-boo to make it feel better. But that father on the other side, like, all right, mama didn't kiss the boo-boo, get up and try it again because you need to get this. Because as a man, you understand the world not really pulling no punches. And so I'm not going to sit around and allow punches to be pulled for you. And the mom, I feel like, is going to do the same, but it's her job and or role to soothe you as you, and I'm not even going to say it's a job because I ain't employing nobody. I can't tell nobody's mom, wife, whatever, what to do.
It's usually like that.
But yeah, understanding that that's how things typically work. And I think that when done in unison, you got the mother and the father on the same page, again, you gonna raise a Jackson 5, you gonna raise a Venus and Serena Williams, you gonna raise Alonzo and Jello and Melo, but like you're gonna do these things, and even to the degree that they're not
or the kids
celebrities. Yeah, and I was about to say, yeah, and that's what I was about to say. Even to the degree they're not celebrities, they're full in their selves to whereas they can walk out into the world and contribute positive energy to society ultimately, and not exist solely in a way of, oh, because my mama wasn't there, I'm gonna treat women like this, or because my daddy wasn't there, I'm gonna treat men like this. Like, nah, it's understanding that you got both sides of it. And I think that, again, another thing, going back to the Michael movie that I thoroughly enjoyed was the acts of manifestation and affirmation that Michael Jackson did. He's standing in the mirror. I'm the greatest. I'm the best. Ain't nobody better than me. It was a scene that I thought was hilarious. He in the pool, and he was sitting, all his brothers was playing. He was sitting in the middle of the pool, sun shining down on him. They like, Michael, what are you doing? He's like, I'm sun gazing. I gotta get all these ideas out, because if I don't get them out now, God might give them to Prince. And it's understanding that when you're active and receiving the Most High and just wanting to, I guess, regenerate positive energy, you're going to get the world. Because I feel like that's, again, from this film and from the music that, like you said, we've been from generations experienced from Michael Jackson. I feel like outside of all of the shit that later on in his life they tried to paint, oh, he's a pedophile, all these blah, 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 blah. I feel like, again, smear campaign, conspiracy, all this different type of stuff. I think that he was a vessel. And that's why life happened the way that it did. That's why, like you say, you can look his name up and it's of the ranks with Jesus Christ, because he was doing works. I believe that especially the black community, we all just recently saw Sinners. You see how powerful the voice is. Again, seeing them, I want to say women, but seeing them people at those concerts, motherfucker falling out. Motherfucker having out-of-body experiences. You thinking motherfucker's catching the Holy Ghost, because it's like, damn, you're that, I feel like, divine. And what I would go as far as to say, you're that connected to the Creator and what he has to do for you, that other people are experiencing it and it's overwhelming them. Like, it's like, damn, this aura is so heavy that I don't know what to do with it. And I think a lot of that came from that affirmation and that manifestation, understanding that positive talk to ourselves is where it starts. Like, you, and I've heard that from multiple people. I heard Bruce Lee talking about how never, even in a jokingly matter, never speak negatively upon yourself, because you are then attracting that energy from the universe ultimately, because you understand that, yeah, they say sticks and stones break your bones, words that never hurt, but words carry sound vibrations, and those sound vibrations stick into our minds. They operate as a frequency, and if that frequency is negative, if it sound like that white noise when you turn the radio on, then yeah, you gonna be a person who, I feel like your life is going to reflect that ultimately. And that's not to say that just because, oh, you pray, you got a relationship with God, all this, life isn't still going to happen. But I do believe that it's your perspective and insight that's going to allow you to see the outcomes differently. The same thing, somebody walking here right now, or somebody bump the camera and knock the cameras over. One of us can respond, man, what the fuck is you doing? You supposed to be sitting down, da, 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 da. You just fucked my day up. You respond like, oh shit, I'm finna just push this camera back up, get the lens back right, and we good to go. I feel like ultimately it's perspective. The same thing happened, but how you chose to respond, that only had to do with you. Nobody made, just because they pushed the camera or knocked it down, they didn't make me curse them out. They didn't make me address them. I felt that that was the appropriate response. And so I operated in that way. And I think that, going back to a statement that you made earlier in regards to accountability, I think that a lot of us have to learn to take more accountability for the things that happen around us, rather than immediately looking for somebody to blame or to say it's such and such fault. Like, because what's that going to do if, okay, say it is that person's fault. They are the reason that something happened. And to double down, they did it intentionally. Does that mean that your life now has to stay where that person held you or got you captured at? Do you now have to stay captive to whatever it is that they, say your life is? I personally don't believe so. But there are people who I think want to live in that space of, well, they did this to me, and so now I'm like this. When it's like, nah, you can truly, God, I tell any and everybody, God gave us a superpower when free will became a thing. When God gave us the will to choose, I can't say that there's anything more important than that, because now I have the opportunity to do as I please. And a lot of people will say, I did what I had to do. Did you have to, though? Who told you you had to? More than likely it was you. Like, you forced that issue. And so I think that in all of it, whether it's the Meg Thee Stallion and Klay, it's the Mike, whatever, it all boils down to choices. It all boils down to decisions and discernment that we have to make in regard to operating in this world around others. You know what I'm saying? Understanding that we have a contribution to make along with the people who exist. We not riding this ride alone. And so I think that ultimately in regard to just greatness, because I think, like I said, from the movie, that was the theme, what it takes to be great. You know, ultimately, I think that it really comes down to having someone see you and believe in you, and then you ultimately doing it for yourself. But I go as far as to say, and maybe you can give me a pulpit, but Jesus supposedly did that. He cared about you enough to die and do and all this different type of stuff. So that's all you really need. Like that's all the confidence that you need in order to operate, whether that's in love, whether that's in light. I think that all you truly need is that ability to believe and have faith in what it is that you're doing, and it's gonna work out. Like I say, you watched Mike talk about how I'm the greatest. Who was telling him he wasn't? You feel me? Again, he made the little whatever about Prince, but even in that is knowing that that's another vessel. You feel me? I look at you, and I when we doing poetry or when we doing our thing, I don't look at you as competition. I look at you as my brother. I look at you as an artist, a poet, all of these different type of things. But you don't compare to me, and I don't compare to you, because God has ordained a life path for both of us. And so me trying to jump on your life path because, damn, Boogie doing poetry and he actually cold. Let me see if I could be like that. Is one thing to take, away, take notes and all that. But to try to jump in front of your blessings, that's I'm wasting my life for real, for real. And so ultimately, I think that when you have that connection, I'm always gonna put it on God. When you have that ability to say, God, use me, your life is always gonna reflect that. Whether it's in a high season or a low season, you always gonna be able to say, hey, God is present in my life. And so, yeah, I rocked with it. Did you have anything else? Facts. And I guess rapping with a quick and simple, precious perspective, understanding that only you can be you. Only you can exist in a realm and in a space that the ordinance of your life happens in a way that is beneficial to you. You can't get nowhere trying to be nobody else or trying to do things that other people are doing. You can only be you, whether that's, like I say, in love, light, or laughter. And with that, it's a wrap. Peace.